Our family used to live in the most prosperous area of Shanghai, where I was born and raised. In 1958, my father was arrested by the government because of the breakout of the Great Cultural Revolution. I have 4 siblings, and the youngest one was only 3 years old at this time. My father was sentenced to prison for 3 years, but he never came out after he was sentenced. So I grew up without a father. Since it was too hard for a woman to raise 5 children, my mother sent my second eldest sister to her brother in Hong Kong when she was only 16. Several years later, my second eldest sister got married in Hong Kong and moved to the United States with her husband. When my mom applied to come to America to visit my sister, she took me with her. When I first came to America, I stayed in New York for almost 2 years and opened a Chinese restaurant there. Later on, one of my friends who owned a Chinese restaurant in Louisiana needed a chef, and he invited me there to help him. So I moved to Louisiana, where I met my wife. In 1986, my first child, Joe, was born, and I was so thrilled to have my first son. I was 33 years old then, so it was kind of late for a Chinese to have a first child. When I saw the birth of Joe, my first thought was that I wanted to give my son a really nice family, since I had suffered a lot when I was a little kid. I remember the time when my mother worked so hard but could only earn less than 1 RMB every day. It was impossible for her to run the family with so little salary. She had to sell her blood for money to support the whole family and feed all 5 children. So later, I decided to open my own business to give Joe a happy life. Sometimes, learning how to run a good business is just like learning how to be a good man. Finding a balance between pleasing your customers and providing for your family is a very important aspect of this. When you become a good person, everything in your life will become so convenient, and a good reputation could pass from one person to another. This is my secret to running the restaurant I own now, ABC Chinese Cuisine.